Hey, welcome back, everyone. It is time now for Daybreak and 10 on Color 10.
We are on the air with you for the next 10 minutes without commercials beginning right now. And first, let's head on over to meteorologist Beth Finello with our forecast first on this election day. Good morning, Beth.
Good morning. We've got a lot of sunshine out there this morning. Satellite and radar is quiet and will stay quiet for the rest of the day today. A beautiful sunrise over Springfield. 40 degrees right now, 49 in Monette, 51 in Joplin, 54 in Harrison, and 50 in Branson, running about 10 to 20 degrees warmer than we were at this time yesterday, with plenty of sunshine expected today. I also expect dry roads for the morning commute through lunchtime and through the evening commute. If you're going out to vote today, you're going to need your jackets this morning for any lines. We'll have those temperatures in the 40s, 60s by lunchtime, plenty of sunshine, and we keep the sunshine mild conditions with 70s by this afternoon, and that's what Futurecast will show you. Overnight tonight, upper 40s and lower 50s, a few clouds. Tomorrow we'll have some high cloudiness, but temperatures still will top off in the upper 60s and lower 70s. No rain chances expected this week into the weekend until we head into the beginning of next week. So here's what you can expect. Highs in the lower 70s today, warm and breezy tomorrow. Some high cloudiness is possible. Again, no rain chances this week. Temperatures will be in the 60s and 70s, and we are quiet into this weekend. That's what your 7-day will show you. Warm and windy again tomorrow, then we'll be quiet Thursday and Friday. A little bit more breezy on Saturday with a mix of sun and clouds on Sunday, and then we'll introduce those rain chances as we head into Monday and again into Tuesday.
Color 10 is your local election headquarters, and polls have been open for about an hour in Missouri. They'll stay that way until 7 o'clock tonight. Nigel McDonald joins us live now to share what you need to know before the polls, and a special guest with her as well. Nigel, good morning.
Yeah, Joe. Well, good morning. As you mentioned, polls have been open for just under an hour. The line is continuing to fill up, and I am joined with Greene County Clerk Shane Scholler. Good morning.
Good morning, Nigel.
So talk to us about today. What do people need to know before they head out to the poll?
Well, make sure you bring your ID. Bring like a photo ID, like your driver's license, for example. You can also bring your voter ID card or bring a utility or bank statement as long as it's got your name and your address you're registered at and it's a current statement. You can show that to check in to vote. Remember not to wear any political attire once you begin to enter into the polling location. That's really important. It's a neutral free zone in terms of any political, candidates and you're for or against, and so that's important too. And then just remember to social distance 6 feet when you get there. We want to make sure every voter has a safe and good voting experience, and so we just want to be mindful of that as well.
And will you be required to wear a mask inside?
We're asking folks to follow the local ordinance. Clearly, some people may have a health reason. We understand that. And we've let our election judges know who will all be wearing masks or a face shield. Every voter gets to vote regardless if they have a mask on or not.
And so what about voter turnout? I mean, the line right now is already forming.
Right.
What do you guys expect today?
Well, we've already had about 20% of the overall active registered voters cast a ballot. And so we anticipate by the end of the day, we're going to get closer to 75, if not 80% turnout in total.
And so as we know, COVID-19 is impacting people here and everywhere. So how does that in turn affect voters?
Well, of course, it's important that if you've been quarantined or you have COVID-19, call our office at 868-4060 or email county clerk at greencountymo.gov, and we will help assist those voters. And certainly, that's one of the reasons we want to wear a mask. We want to social distance because you may be positive and not realize it. So we just do everything we can to help each other as we're coming out to vote today.
And so one final question. Polls close at 7 this evening, but if people are in line before 7, will they be able to vote?
If you are in line at 7 o'clock, you will be able to vote. At 7:01 by state statute, we have to close, and no one at that point can enter the line.
Well, thank you for your time. Well, again, as Shane Scholler mentioned, polls are open and will remain open until 7 this evening. Again, JQH Arena serves as today's central polling location, so make sure you keep that in mind. If you're heading to the MSU Welcome Center, actually head over to the JQH Arena. Reporting live in Springfield, Nigel McDonald, Ozarks First.
Thank you, Nigel. A lot of votes to be cast today and a lot of coverage coming your way on both Color 10 and Ozarks Fox. Before those polls close, we'll have an hour-long newscast here on Color 10 starting up at 5. And then we want you to tune in to Ozarks Fox at 6:30. We'll have more live reports, another live look at voting and more. And then, of course, national coverage takes over. There's a lot going on Fox and CBS on those channels that you can watch throughout the evening. Back at 9 o'clock, from 9 to 10, we've got an hour of local election results and more reports and updates coming on Ozarks Fox for you. Don't forget to switch it over to Color 10 after that at 10 p.m. Heather Lewis, David Oliver will have an hour-long newscast starting then, breaking down everything we need to know about the Missouri races and the national races. We'll also be live streaming a lot of coverage all evening. That'll start up at 7 o'clock tonight over on ozarksfirst.com for you.
And as you head to the polls today, electioneering is something election judges will be watching out for. When you go cast your ballot, you cannot wear any candidates' names, slogans, or supporting anything on the ballot within 25 feet of the door. This includes hats and stickers. And if you do wear anything representing a candidate, you will be asked to change, cover it up, or turn a shirt inside out, for example. However, statements that don't represent a candidate or issue on the ballot specifically are okay. And you also can't talk to others in line about your vote or ask them how they plan to vote.
The goal is when people come in to vote, they're let their voice be heard through the ballot, and you don't want any undue influence on any voter to try to sway a voter.
Remember to bring a form of ID with you, and that can be your driver's license, your voter ID card, a utility bill, or a bank statement. Just make sure your name and address are on it. And one of today's biggest races in Missouri is the governor's race. Republican Governor Mike Parson and Democratic State Auditor Nicole Galloway made their final campaign stops yesterday. The opponents disagreeing on a number of topics, from taxes to how the COVID-19 pandemic should be addressed. Parson says masking orders should be left up to the local governments, while Galloway says he is not facing the realities of this pandemic.
He is not willing to acknowledge that we have a problem with COVID in our state. How can he even begin to address it?
This election is about, do you want to move this state forward, or do you want to go back to more taxes? Do you want to go back to more regulations?
This election could be the first time Governor Mike Parson is elected to the position. He was elected lieutenant governor back in 2016 and then became governor in 2018 after Eric Greitens resigned. Lawmakers are also set to return to the Capitol this week for another special session, this time to discuss a supplemental budget bill. If Parson loses today, it could be known as a lame duck session, something that hasn't happened in Missouri in the past 50 years.
Springfield City Utilities has posted on Facebook a reminder to those in the city that it will be giving free bus rides to your polling location today. You can also vote at the transit center as long as you're registered to vote in Greene County.
In some news from around the Ozarks, an endangered silver advisory has been issued for a missing adult. 84-year-old Florine Dietz went missing from her residence in Rogersville around 2:30 yesterday afternoon. She possibly suffers from Alzheimer's. Dietz was last seen driving a maroon 2000 Ford F-250 truck with Missouri plates 4GG19. You're asked to contact authorities if you have any information on her whereabouts.
A 1-year-old was killed in Jasper County, Missouri after a vehicle ran over him in a driveway. The Highway Patrol states the male child was actually underneath the parked vehicle when that driver there began moving.
2 of the 9 suspects allegedly involved in a murder in Lawrence County will be arraigned in court later this morning. All of them face charges of at least first-degree murder, first-degree assault, and kidnapping. The charges come from the deadly shooting of Sarah Pasco. All suspects are in jail right now without bond. And now here's a look at what's coming up after Daybreak.
Coming up, it's been a campaign year unlike any other, and now Election Day is finally here. We'll talk about what each candidate needs to accomplish to win the White House and the growing concerns over nationwide unrest, coming up on CBS This Morning.
Of course, that's what you're going to see happen all day long. Election talk, and we've got you covered, as we told you, on air here, but then also online. Don't forget to go to our website, ozarksfirst.com, click on Vote 2020, and it's got everything you need to know. You can find your polling locations there. You can read up on some of these issues if you want a little last-minute research, right?
Absolutely. Our Madison Heaver has been interviewing all of the candidates here locally. And that was pretty interesting. That is our Meet the Candidate series, and you can watch all of those interviews in full for all of the districts here in Springfield. And I'm glad she did that. That was very interesting to hear from them directly where they stand on certain issues.
And then starting at 7 o'clock tonight, Colin Lingo is going to be live streaming on our website basically all evening long. He'll be joined by Jesse Inman. Dr. Brian Calfano will be there as well, all to weigh in. So a lot of coverage coming your way, especially as those results start coming in.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, we are hearing that across the country, a lot of those results will not be in tonight.
Yeah.
So tomorrow morning here on Daybreak, we hope to have a more updated version of those results for you. So we'll also be continuing that coverage tomorrow morning.
Yeah, the next 24 hours, if you work in a newsroom,
Yes.
gonna be a bit nuts, right?
Have you ever seen that episode of SpongeBob where everyone's running around the office and everything's kind of on fire? That's how it feels in my head right now on
That's the election.
day.
That's the election feels. That's right. Look,
Through tomorrow at least, like that.
if you're going out to vote, though, hey, it's not going to be too bad, right?
That's the only contribution I have to election day. It's a lot of sunshine.
We'll take it, though.
70s, and that's how it's going to be the rest of this week and into the weekend as well.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for watching on Daybreak. Be safe when you get out there and vote today.